It is an absolutely beautiful day today. Way nicer than the last day I came out in my last video, where I got really wet. So last time I was here, I walked up a small sort of feeder stream as I was leaving, and I saw a couple of spots that looked quite interesting. So today's plan is to go back to that feeder stream, do a little bit of prospecting and see if it also contains gold, because I know the main river's got some gold, but I'm not too sure about this side stream, so I'll check it out and we'll see how we do. Wish me luck. What a beautiful day. Right, well, I've made it to the spot that I wanted to work. Water levels are way higher than when I was here last, despite all the rain last time. But I think we can make it work, so I'm just going to have to get stuck in. That rock there is right in the middle of the river and it's pretty big. I think there's got to be something behind that. Update. So I'm actually working right in the middle of the flow of the river, and it's pretty fast. So I'm working right behind that rock, and it's already pretty deep, the water, even though I've just filled my second bucket. So I got the sluice set up just there. I'm going to run this second bucket and then have a look and see if there's any gold. I've already got some lead shot on the top mat, which is a good sign, so I know that there's heavy stuff dropping out behind that boulder. So if there's gold here, I should have some in the sluice after this second bucket. And I've also discovered a stringer of quartz crossing the bedrock underneath that rock, so it's highly unlikely that that's the one where the gold is coming from, but you never know, so I'll keep digging it out and then I'll get the river viewer out and have a better look at what's going on under there later on. Well, that's pretty strange. Lots of lead shot and only one microspeck of gold. Right, well, I was starting to doubt myself, but I figured I've got to try and get to the bottom of that crevice because it goes straight across the river, right underneath that boulder, and it's got quartz veins running all through it, decomposing bedrock. So I kept at it, and I just got a lovely picker on the top mat. So I'm going to pull that out now. So there was nothing else in that bucket other than that picker, so I think that because it's in an area where when the water's high the lighter stuff's probably not dropping out as much. I'm getting a lot of lead shot and I got a big flake of gold, but I'm not getting small pieces of gold, so I'm gonna spend the rest of the morning on this crevice because I want to know what's fully at the bottom of it. Look at the pieces of bedrock that are coming off while I'm digging. Giant quartz veins running through them. So I think it's worth, even if I'm not getting the smaller pieces, I think it's worth carrying on with that until it's clean, and then I'll move locations. I haven't been filming much because the water's so high. I'm scared I'm going to knock my camera, my brand new GoPro, into the river and it's going to disappear. So I haven't been filming a lot, but I moved location, started digging a new hole behind this rock here, and I'm doing a little bit of surface sniping with the with my river viewer here. And I've just found a little piece of gold at the bottom of this bedrock, so I'll stick the torch on, see if I can film me picking it up. So the GoPro is not so great with the close-up stuff. Yesterday I found a hell of a lot of lead and a little bit of gold. Definitely not my best day on that river, but far from my worst day. That's nice. Maybe a 0.1 or a 0.12, something like that. So that feeder stream I was on about yesterday turned out to be a little bit too rough yesterday. The water was up so much I couldn't really do a lot. It was kind of like white water, even though it looked really promising. So where that flake or that picker came from is like a bedrock drop off, like a shelf, with quartz veins running all through it.
So there's got to be some more gold in there, but I couldn't really see it yesterday because of the white water. So hopefully today the water will have gone down a bit and I can double check that before I move on to another spot. Sound like the water's gone down very much. A lot better than it was yesterday. So my plan, I want to carry on where I was digging last week. I was getting some really nice pieces there, and I didn't get as much as I was hoping yesterday, so I want to start the day with a couple of nice buckets with some gold in, and then I'll go off and do a bit more prospecting again. I think it's hard to see where I was digging last week. I filled in my hole obviously, but this flood water has really changed things up, so I can't even remember if I was by there or by there. I'll figure it out. So I've done 3 buckets now through the sluice. It's been hard trying to figure out where I was digging last week, so sometimes I'm hitting patches of loose gravel where I've obviously filled in the hole, and then the river's put a load more loose stuff in since then. But then every now and then, you know, I'm finding the really condensed, compact stuff that I haven't touched, so that's what I'm digging into right now. Just down in here. Entire gravel bars underwater, which makes it a bit harder to gauge and see what's going on. A few specks of gold on the top mat.
and I saw a lot more than that at one point, so it's going to be a good clean out. This is the first 3 buckets. Probably more specks than I had all day yesterday. And that is bucket 4 and 5. Definitely getting bigger. And of course, the best pan comes right at the end of the day as I'm getting ready to leave. Less lead, more gold.